right, folks, and welcome to the first game of the latest edition of Indie Showcase Saturday, powered by The Shed. And yes, this is one that I've actually had for a little while now. It's weird because while they're giving out press codes for it, it's not out yet. It just says a release date of 2019, so I have you can't actually buy this right now. But the place I got the code from was like, hey, are you going to do anything with it? And I'm like, all right, if you want me to cover this when people can't buy it yet, sure. So that's what we're doing. So this is Attack of the Mutant Fishcrows. It is, as you can see here, fast-paced action platformer. I always like action platformers. The look of it is a little interesting, so I'm curious about this. This is from a UK developer called Wild Logic Games. Single-person dev, if I recall correctly. As I said, there is no release date yet other than this year. It has no price. It's nothing. So I really don't know much about this, to be honest with you, other than it's an action platformer. I have not touched it yet. So we're going to see what happens with this. Like I said, no price, no nothing. So I don't know. We'll see how this guy goes here. But, you know, I like action platformers, and I like, you know, well done pixel art stuff. So we'll see how this looks. Might be cool. But this is more of a preview, I would say, than anything else, because this isn't out, so it could change at any moment. I don't know why I'm getting these big picture controller prompts here. That's a little strange. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I was like, did the game freeze? Okay. Down arrow. Okay, wait. Okay, so it says controller recommended. So, all right, I've got my Xbox One controller hooked in here. Very interesting art style this has. Animations seem pretty all right. Okay, well, this all looks fine. So sprint is right shoulder, dodge left and right is triggers. B, X, Y. Okay. Let's try this and see what we have here. Okay, that was weird. So this game is clearly, yeah, beta. Okay, this game is clearly still very much in development. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Volume sliders, which is nice, but no display options to speak of. And then the controller takes you back to this. I assume that black screen is what it's doing when it's loading. I don't know. Okay, I guess it wants my name. Not going to spend a lot of time on customization here. I do like it when games give you like a randomize option, because most games that have character generation, what I'll usually do is I'll just hit random a pile of times until I find something a little bit that I kind of like a little bit, and then I give and then I sort of tweak it from there. This is interesting. Doing okay, Rez. Okay. I had a good sleep last night. My mom's doing good. I didn't have to go to her place last night, and she didn't need me. She doesn't need me to come today either. So that's cool.
In a land isolated by high waters, where the impossible becomes possible, lives an evil man, ostracized from the kingdom of Gorenhelm for his wicked ways and occult alchemy.
Occult?
Everything was quiet when out from the moon's shadow came a storm, bellowing loud and echoing throughout the land surrounding Theo.
This is actually pretty well done.
The alchemist who resides in his tower. And it was this harrowed night, with his occult knowledge, he concocted a potion to poison the surrounding.
You spelled night wrong, but
his actions had the desired effect. Gorenhelm large crow sanctuary. Pesky little buggers they are.
Pesky little boogers. You heard the little British accent in there. Whoop. It wasn't moving, so I hit the skip button, and apparently it's doing this. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but it acted like it was done. That was really, that was interesting. Also, that was clearly a very lengthy intro. You know what, though? That voice acting was pretty good. As, like, a foreboding type of narrator, I liked it. So, I didn't actually mean to skip that, but... I'm liking the music so far. Like, it's pixel art, but it's got a little bit of a beat to it. I kind of like it. Well, this is made by a single British dev. Wild Logic Games is a single-person dev from the UK, so I bet it was him. But you know what? He did, like, in terms of, like, how he did the narration, like, how the enunciation on his voice and stuff, he did pretty well. Oh, wow. So the dodging is actually pretty cool. But it only works when you're standing still. Yeah, you know what? It's funny, right? Because, like, I don't know what a Canadian accent is, kind of, because it's kind of just what I've lived, right? Okay, so I have double jump. I can beat people with a... Did the guy say he had a sword in the next room? Because, Oh, nice. I can boost in the air. Cool. This is not a sword. This is a broom. I just thought I would point that out. Well, of course, right? Oh, there's the sword. Okay. I'm not so sure about his default button layout. It's actually very much like Japanese games where the acknowledge button is B instead of X, which is what it bloody should be. But it's all rebindable, so hey. I'll give him credit for... Yeah, I was going to say, I'll give him credit for that because I like to try to play these games the way the devs want you to play them, so we're going to stick with that. But yeah, you know what? For a game in very early beta, he gives you the option to rebind, which a lot of games don't. We now, unfortunately, have this okay, I was going to say we have this tutorial stuck on the screen, which we don't anymore. Okay, wait, he said he didn't have a crossbow, but he's got bolts? Oh, but he's got a shed load of money. Yeah, sorry, old man, I'm taking all your stuff. Listen, we got mutant fishcrows to deal with, yo. So there is no doubt that this game is very much a beta, based on some of the weird technical eccentricities it has and some other things like that. But you know what this is kind of reminding me of a little bit? Like, for example, this. So it looks like I actually have the ability to jump on these creatures too, but I can't... I have the ability to jump on the crows, but it hurts me as well as them. Whoops. I missed that. Yeah, exactly. I think it's trying to do that, but not doing it on full screen. Yeah, exactly. But I also feel like there's supposed to be a screen there because you'll notice at the top there's a little color bar that sequences. I think there's supposed to be a loading screen in there that we just don't have yet. Yeah, so you see that? So I think this is supposed to be a loading screen. Also, when it's fading out, you get stuck in place and lose your controls. Like when it's doing this. So this is kind of like a medieval version of the Birds, this story, I guess. No, it's definitely the game. The guy said, come with me when I've killed the crows, he'll have some gold for me. You know I'm already stealing all your gold, right? You know what this actually reminds me of a little bit, and it wouldn't surprise me if this is what his inspiration was. You know what this core gameplay reminds me a lot of is, like Wonder Boy and Monsterland. Something like that. It's an action platformer, but it also has light RPG elements to it, because you have money, you have items, you have, other things like that. It's at its core very much an action platformer, but it also is very much an RPG at the same time. Like very light RPG. You have stuff to manage, but it's also very much, but yeah, at its core, it's very much just an action game. Which I like that. I always liked Wonder Boy and Monsterland and games like that. Thanks. Oh, you're healed now. I was like, you want medical attention or anything? But okay. Yeah, that's something I really hope he can fix quickly. Because that's going to get really annoying really fast. Oh, checkpoint. Oh, God. So there was a hole there. Also, these birds are dropping poop bombs on me. I don't know if you noticed that. Oh, shelter. Oh, neat. So you can just run into this building and sort of hide from the birds. Oh, yeah, you can. Absolutely. Yeah, you can clip res. That just goes into my clip library, so... Since I don't play back the clips on stream, it doesn't really matter anyway, so... Wait, use the LB button to shoot your bolts, except I don't have any bolts. I never found a bolt thing. Oh my god, okay, this suddenly got very difficult. It's interesting, right? I'm not sold on this art style. Wait. A what? Pipebot overlay thing? What are you talking about? I didn't see that. Oh, it did? I don't know. It is? Oh, there it is. Oh, hey, Sim. Yeah, that's Restream chat. That's overlaying the chat from the Shed channels. That's what that is. I can't do that with my other overlay because Restream chat will do multiple services. So that's the Shed's chat over there. Holy jeez, it's way over there. Yeah, kind of. So, this is interesting so far, I'm going to say, this game. I'm not sold explicitly on the... I'm not 100% sure right now how I feel about the art style. It's interesting, but it's not quite what I was expecting. What it does remind me of a little bit, I mean, it does kind of fit the time a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of the, yeah, that's a good one, Ice King, actually. Yeah, it reminds me actually a little bit of, not 8-bit consoles, but it reminds me a little bit of, like, 8-bit computers. Like, for example, the Commodore or things like that. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a game you might see on something like that. The Commodore or maybe the Atari ST or Amiga, something from that era. It's neat. Like, I do think it's interesting. It looks almost like it's pixel art, but it almost looks voxely in some way, like it might even be, like, partially computer, like, oh, okay, we've got a survival wave here. Right? I mean, if you grew up on those old computers like I did, you know, it comes through. Come here, you little bastards. Axe, you say? One moment, please. I do find it a little funny, the, I do like the, how it slows the music down when you're in the menu. Oh, it's a lot slower, though. Also, every time one of these little dickbags hits you, you kind of do this, so you kind of pause. Come here! Stab you in the face! Yeah, there we go. Funny enough, I can't do anything with the crows that are attacking people in the background there. Thank you, Loop. Appreciate it. The game does, at this point, I mean, granted, we're in the early level, but the game does seem to be very generous with loot at this point. Doing alright, man. Very happy to be back doing this today, actually. To be back doing Indie Showcase. This is a game I've actually had on my radar for quite a while, and I hadn't gotten around to it yet. Principally because, oddly enough, it was a game that was handing out codes to streamers, but it's not out yet. It doesn't even have a release date yet. And I was like, well, what's kind of the point in covering this? And then Indie Boost sent it to me, and they were like, a while ago, and they were like, hey, are you going to do anything with this? And I'm like, well, if you want me to cover a game that's in very early pre-release, sure. It's very much a beta. It's got some issues. But it's cool, though, in a way. It reminds me, I was saying this to people before, it reminds me a lot of a game kind of like Wonder Boy and Monsterland. It's an action platformer, but it very much has RPG elements to it. There's money, there's, weapons, there's inventory, things like that. But at its core, it's very much an action platformer game. As well, like you're walking around doing, you're walking around on platforms and killing enemies and things like that. I'm I'm a little hit and miss on the art so far. The art, it's neat. I see what he's going for. This is made, as I understand it, by a single dev in the UK. I kind of see what he's going for with the art. I'm just not sure I'm 100% sold on it, but ow. I don't know if this is original pixel art music or stock stuff, but it's very good, I think. I think it actually fits quite well. The game actually had a pretty good fully voiced intro, which unfortunately it looked like it stuck, so I hit the skip button and it blew through like 80% of it, which I kind of feel bad about. I kind of wish I could have seen more of it. I also can't seem to pull out my weapon. Oh, it's because I lost my weapon when I died. Do what? Frying pan. Okay, well, you know we got to try this. Damn it. So I'm guessing this is not a roguelike because when you die, you go back to a checkpoint and you lose something, and it's keeping a death counter. So I don't think it's a roguelike. Yeah, there's very much something to this. Oh, damn it. It does have a frying pan, I agree. I mean, that is pretty cool. Any game that allows you to wield a frying pan and a weapon has got to get some kudos, right? Also, these fish crows that you're going after have enemies that fly over you and poop on you. So, I mean... Clearly got the British sense of humor, am I right? Okay, we checkpointed again. It's weird, these little background birds that are attacking people, I can't actually hurt them. So you also get stun locked a little bit when one of the birds hits you, which is a good element of challenge, but I could also see frustrating the ever-loving crap out of people. See, like that? So when you hit, your guy kind of goes, ah, and you can't really, he can't really do a lot that way. Okay, so there's the lever, so this gets us out of here. Yeah, this reminds me a little bit of a combination of, yeah, Wonder Boy and Monsterland. Even though it's not a roguelike, I feel a little bit of Dead Cells in here. Hey, Sim. Yeah, we're having some issues with the, with Caster, which is the restreaming, service we usually use. I think next time I'm going to come up with a different method. I think we're going to try something different next time. I have a thought that I might chat with Bizzo about after on another way to do it. That might be a little less of a headache. Oh, we checkpointed again, okay. Yeah, that's probably Caster. I think I might just double stream in the future and output to restream.io. So we're picking up a ton of money here, but at the same time, I haven't actually been given any reason to use it yet. But I am getting a buttload of loot from these places. It's definitely not stingy with handing out loot. And this frying pan will wreck a fish crow in the face, man. Like, check this out. Like, you walk up to a fish crow in this and you're like, nah, son. I'ma get you. Beat you in the face. Yeah. Oh. Oh, oh, yeah. Thankfully, I am also picking up a lot of healing items, which is also useful. Oh, bola. Okay, there we go. Definitely got to do something about that load screen bug, especially because I just took damage there, because when that load screen is fading out, you can't move, and that enemy totally was able to hit me when I was unable to move. Definitely got to do something about that. Yeah, no, that's it. That's definitely an issue. Yeah, okay, we had this briefing before. This is just the same little side mission. Wait a minute. Have I been in this guy's... Wait, the game thinks I've been in this guy's house already because I have all the loot taken already. So that's a little weird. But he also... His mission also reset, so... Yeah, all this loot has been emptied out already. Okay, I'm gonna put a healing potion as my consumable, because those apples, they don't do much for you. Also, I'm noticing up in that UI there, it says name, and then it says days. I don't know what the days mean. Okay, well, I got 33 more gold, so GG. Yeah, gotta fix that. Sir? Okay. How'd I go? We going out into the world now? And we're... Okay. Giving me a count of how many people... Okay, grade U? U for what does that mean? Useless? Wow, it's literally giving me a full count of all the birds that I murdered. Holy crap, Ender, how the hell are you, man? Oh, dude, it's been a while. Good to see ya. Nice. And I got some free loot, did I? Apparently I get to jump off all the dead birds. Yeah, man. Oh, good. Excellent. Well, welcome. We're doing another Indie Showcase Saturday here. We're actually into the... we're only into the first game right now of potentially 6 that we'll be doing today, so... Oh god, that guy looks like he don't play. Yeah, those little bombing birds too, definitely not the biggest fan of because they're very hard to avoid in a lot of cases. What is... Oh my god, that doesn't even look like a crow at all. A lot, man. Work was really busy. My mom actually unexpectedly went into the hospital this past weekend. She's home now and thankfully is doing much better. She had a very sudden and severe issue with vertigo. Basically, she was exceptionally dizzy to the point where she was being very sick a lot. But it looks like it was just an inner ear viral thing, so she's fine now, thankfully. But work's been crazy busy, but I've largely been keeping up with the streaming. Thank you, appreciate it. Had a fantastic day playing Spider-Man yesterday, actually. I played for almost 7 hours, had a huge number of new follows, and a bunch of people hung out and chat and watched. It was a lot of fun. Had a really good time. Yeah, and I'm doing a bunch of developer relations stuff now for the Shed, which is awesome. Been talking to a lot. Been talking to a lot of indie devs. I got to go to both PAX South and PAX East this year, my first 2 PAXs ever, which was a huge ton of fun. I've been talking to a huge pile of developers and publishers about doing stuff with us, and we're trying to make this a staple of my Saturday streams. Basically, I'm doing live first impressions of various indie games. They get a maximum of an hour each. and then I put these on YouTube over the following week. So it's been pretty cool, and I try to mix up what I play quite a bit. So this is a game called Attack of the Mutant Fishcrows. Interestingly enough, it's I've been allowed to cover it for a while. It's in beta right now. You actually can't buy it yet. It has a Steam page, but it doesn't have a formal release date or a oh god, it doesn't have a formal release date or even a price. But it's pretty neat. Oh yeah, I haven't played Sekiro yet. I know many people who have, and I've heard the pain that game can bring, even by From Software standards. I will pick it up at some point. Right now I have too big a backlog between Spider-Man, Ace Combat, 2 Assassin's Creed games, and a whole pile of other stuff. I have heard that it is a bastard. You know, in the lovable way that From Software games always are. The lovable, endearing way, but I've been told that even by From standards, it's brutal. I fell through the ground. Okay. Beta game, folks. Also, this bird seems to be stuck there, and I really hope that doesn't cause this to bug out on me, because I can't seem to kill that bird. So that might be a thing, but we'll see. Yeah, well, yeah, I found it rather surprising that Activision decided seemingly out of nowhere to publish that game, but also it's From Software. I mean, if you want a safe bet from, you know, in terms of whether or not a game will sell, backing From Software is probably a pretty solid idea. Okay, no, it looks like that one that's bugged out is not going to cause a problem here, so that's good. You've been liking it, though? Good, man. Haven't done a lot with it lately, but I have like 5 extra life stretch goals left to do, horror game stretch goals, so there will be announcements about those pretty soon. I'll be doing more of those in the not too distant future, because I have several left from last year to complete, so... Oh yeah, we got actually if you go to my Extra Life page, you'll see I've actually have a list there of the games that I have left to do. I've been keeping a list there for people to see. So I thought I was going to wreck you while you slept, but no. So yeah, there's going to be a few interesting ones in there. You know, including the entirety of Five Nights at Freddy's. God help me. Though, to be honest with you, when I look at some of the games like Remothered and some of the other things that are in there, I'm like, you know... There could potentially be worse things than Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, nice. You can... Okay, wow, you can swim in this, but apparently you can't attack, so... Duly noted. Oh, God. Well, here. So it looks like when you die, you lose a random item, it would appear. Because at times I've lost my active weapon before and other things like that. So it looks like you can lose... it just sort of takes a random thing from you, it would appear. So, okay, so it actually shows where I died, which is kind of nice. It gives you a little marker to be like, hey, here's where you failed utterly. Okay, there's the key that I picked up. Builds transportation systems like this. Like, I'm sorry, but I have to ask. God dang it. I will say it definitely gets trickier quickly. Yeah, I have to say, this, for a game that's in beta, this is making a pretty good impression. It's definitely beta. It's got that loading screen bug that is definitely frustrating because it can cause you to take damage when you can't move. The controls are good, though it sometimes does feel there's a little bit of a delay in them. Like, sometimes it feels like it's not entirely doing what I want it to do when I press a button. That could just be me, too. It may not be the game. And the art style is not bad. It's just not necessarily my personal favorite thing. But I like how it's scarecrows are the checkpoints as well. That fits very well. But it's a very cool action game that also has a light RPG element to it. So I've yeah, that's true, eh? Oh, that's good. But it definitely feels like a, yeah, something kind of like Wonder Boy and Monsterland. A little bit of that. Action platformer that has RPG elements to it. And that do it pretty well, I have to say. This is definitely got some, it's got something going on. Hopefully the developer lists it as having a release date of this year. Hopefully we do see it this year. Given that this game is very controller heavy, hopefully his plan is to bring it to additional platforms. You know, as people are sick of me saying, or not, this is another type of game that would be fantastic on something like the Switch where you have it in a portable form, but honestly, on any of the consoles, this game would be a very solid experience as well, because it's so controller, you know, because it's so controller focused, obviously. But there's a lot of depth to it here. Like, look at all the elements in that UI up there. Now, a lot of those are just kill counters, but the game has, like, it's got consumables, it's got various different kinds of weapons, it's got, it does have parallax, you're right, which, I mean, is automatic 10 out of 10, of course, because it's on brand. I don't know as yet what all of the... I don't know what the money's for, because I haven't actually come across any shops yet. I assume those exist, or will exist. Maybe they're just not in the game yet. Oh, okay. So that's what the days are. So there actually is a day-night cycle progression in this. And apparently, now, I don't know if the days mean anything. Now, also, we have a swing thing here, but I don't know where we can land, but... Oh, is it? Oh, that's too bad. My lady friend actually bought a Switch recently. Where am I supposed to go there? I didn't see a platform. That's a bit of an issue. Oh, dear. All right, Andrew. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out, man. Good to see you. We'll see you around, eh? Yeah, so there is definitely some real potential in this. This is a game I would very much like to cover when it goes... Oh, I see. This is a game I would very much like to cover when it goes into full release, for sure. That would be very cool. So it does have a... Oh, you little bastard childs. So this game does have a day cycle, so it actually is going through, and you see it's counting the number of days I've spent up top. Apparently time passes exceptionally quick in this game. But I don't know what that means. Like, do you have a certain amount of time? Does that affect how much... Like, what... I don't know what that affects. So, again, maybe nothing yet, because the game is clearly still a work in progress. But, interesting nonetheless. That I am 99% sure is a sample from Wolfenstein, by the way. That locking door thing. Pretty sure that's a Wolfenstein sound, which is pretty great in its own right. Oh, another survival thing. Oh, getting caught on those guys is brutal. Because they take a lot of damage, and they also do a lot of damage, and you bounce off of them, which hurts you as well as them. Beat the birds. I will say the game doesn't seem to have been giving out a lot of loot in terms of weapons yet. It's given out like a few things, but not a ton. It's been mostly consumables it's been giving me, which has been a little strange. No, don't you run. Don't you be running. Yeah. That's true, yes. I do remember hearing that. What? Wait, what? Well, that's a problem. Oh, okay, that was the end. All right. The seas shall run red with fish crows. Oh my. That's true. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the ones in this aren't either. Which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. I have to say, from an AV, like an audio-visual perspective... Oh, hang on. Oh, look at this! We've suddenly got an open world map now. Neat. There is so much Wonder Boy and Monsterland in this. Oh my god. Indeed. Okay, so here's merchants. So this is where we can buy stuff. A lot more stuff that we've kind of already got a ton of already. You got any weapons in here? Maybe? Oh, bedroll? Ha! Skips through the day-night cycle, but you heal. That's nice. Owls? Wow, okay, I get an attacking buddy with me now? Cool. Like, I have to say, even though I'm not 100% sure on the visuals themselves, the animations are pretty good. Like, the crows and the owl, like, this owl himself here, like, they are animated pretty nicely, like... Whoa. Oh, hi. You know, merchant people, if you want money, there's literally, like, just a big pile of it sitting out here in containers you could just take if you wanted. I'm just saying. Uh-oh. Except how do I get up here now? Well, this is a problem. Oh, no, I guess it isn't. I guess I can just jump down here. Oh, nice. You can jump your way up ladders, too, to climb up them faster. Nice. This is a person who understands quality of life in platformers. Very much the case. That is cool. Well, we're going to get to the next level quick just to see what this owl does, and then I think we'll call it at that point for this game. But I have to say, this surprised me, honestly. When I looked at the screenshots, I was kind of like, I don't know. And a lot of these games where they're handing out press codes early, even though the game has no release date yet, usually makes me go like... I keep forgetting, by the way, about this this ability to shift in midair. Makes a lot of these jumps way easier, and also dodging a lot of those enemies, like the ones that were, you know, pooping on me. That would have been a lot easier if I was paying attention. So, you know, just to give credit where it's due, that's not... some of those things are not on are not failures of the game, but failures of me. So... Oh, I lose a little bit of stamina by doing that, though, so you can't use it to just rapidly sort of accelerate your way forward. That's worth keeping in mind. But, yeah, this game, I mean, you can't buy this game right now even if you want to. It's not for sale, even in early access. It has a listed release date of just 2019. So it's going to come out sometime this year, I guess. What are you doing, Owl? Oh, hey, brah. Hey, Owl, brah, where you going? Where you going? Don't leave, I'm right here! Okay. He kind of just reset his position, I guess. Yeah, so it has a stated release date of 2019 and no price. Right now it's also just PC only, so I can't tell you when this is coming. Wait, backpack stolen? What? What? He stole all my inventory? What the balls? How do I get it back? It didn't ever explain this to me. How do I get my backpack back? I can't pick up anything without it. Do I just have to move forward and hope I can get it back? Well, he, like, flew off the screen, so, like, I don't know... Okay, well, that... Oh, the owl talks to me, apparently. Apparently the owl is just a tip giver. So... Interesting. Okay. Well, that's another mechanic. Thanks for noticing. I noticed. Oh, okay. You usually find it nearby, either in the Fishcrow's grasp, below it, or within a nest. Whenever you approach a crow nest, do so slowly. There it is. Buggers. Crows are real dicks. I mean, crows are dicks. Like, even in real life, crows are dicks. But we have them around here, and they drive me insane. Yeah, so it looks like kind of all the owl does is hover around and give tips. It doesn't really attack anything, which is kind of what I was hoping for. Ha! An alternate way around a locked door. That's way cool. Oh my god, and he stole my backpack again. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Especially since you can't even... It looks like if you pick up an item like this, and your backpack has been stolen, you can't even, like, just use it on the spot. Like, it's just locked away. So, like, now I have to do one of these survival wave things with no inventory. That's kind of mean, but also I'm sure what the game was going for. Thankfully, this one doesn't look too bad, but... Can't even pick up money without your backpack. Also, never got a crossbow. Hey, Aerodon, how are ya? Good to see ya. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome. We're doing, we're just about to wrap the first of probably 6 games today for Indie Showcase Saturday, so you got here at a good time. All right. So yeah, well, we've kind of we've gotten a pretty good slice so far, guys, of what this game offers. I think it's got a lot of potential. Needless to say, it is pretty cool. It is definitely early. It's got some bugs. It's got some control response issues, in my opinion. It's got this weird loading bug here. But it is cool. It's definitely got a lot of potential. It gives me a very strong Wonder Boy in Monsterland vibe, which is not a bad thing at all. So yeah, this is Attack of the Mutant Fishcrows by Wild Logic Games. It is only listed on Steam right now. I don't know if it's coming anywhere else. As I said, it is apparently due to come out this year, but there is no price, there is no release date yet, and there is no mention of other platforms. So that is what this is. But it is got a lot of potential. It is very, very cool looking. So I'm hoping this continues to come along, and I'm definitely interested in taking a peek at it again once it gets further towards release. So yeah, good interesting thing here. If you are a content creator, I got this game from Indie Boost. So if you are a streamer, you can probably go check this out if you want to give it a try for yourself. They seem to be handing out keys for it fairly liberally. So that would be pretty cool. So yeah, folks, that is Attack of the Mutant Fishcrows, but this is the first of only 5 games we have in this edition of Indie Showcase Saturday. So thank you guys for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, as always, like, comment, subscribe, share, etc. That does help this stuff get noticed by more and more people. But don't go anywhere. We have got 5 more games to check out today, so we'll be getting back with that very soon. Indie Showcase Saturday, powered by The Shed, rolls on. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in just a moment.